Part 7, here it is. Signs that you might find in prayer. Remember this. Psalms 81, 10b, that I will open my mouth wide so that, Lord, you can fill me. Remember, your mouth is so wide in His presence, and you want Him to fill you. You want Him to change things. You want Him to intervene. You want Him to do what no man can do. Now He might begin to give you signs. And these are some of the signs that communicate to a believer, whether you are young, whether you are old, in the spirit, as long as you have allowed yourself to be a student. Sometimes God might use colors to show you where you are going, to send a warning, to approve you, to give you a location. Because sometimes you might find you have an encounter wearing a green suit, and when you look at your wardrobe, you don't have kitu kama hiyo. You don't have even, it is not even close to that. Hata maybe green yenye uko nao maybe ni Crocs ama ni paketi ya Oraimo, but you find yourself wearing a green attire that stands for the nature. So it means that God is directing you to pray on your location, on your background. More specifically, this is on location, because green stands for nature, for the earth itself. You might find yourself having gold, and you have never seen gold with your own eyes. You only live by speculations that gold look like this, or like how we read about them. Oh, gold, it must go through the furnace of fire. You only know gold on that level. God must show you the brew. So it means the heavens. That the heavens has allowed you to be and to do this thing. It is giving you a clarity. Push it until something happens. Sometimes you might find a white. It stands for purity. Maybe God is directing you to a life of purity, a life of a holy man, a holy woman of God. You might find yourself wearing purple. It stands for authority. So it means that God has given you spiritual authority over. Ladies and gentlemen, these encounters, especially anything that happens when you are in your prayer life, or when you are fasting, when you are placing a demand, when you are speaking faith on certain issues in your life, know them, because they are an encounter. Sometimes God might take you back. At your old school, when you are praying, you find yourself as a student, as a pupil, sitting down. You might sometimes find yourself back in the village. It is because God is communicating something concerning your family, and even the altars that are in your family. Sometimes you might find yourself with a sword, and you have never been battled. In fact, you only hear about post-election violence. You hear about 1998, 1992. You hear about the coup in 82. You hear about the Mau Mau. You know nothing else. But God is sending a signal that you are a ruler. You are a prince, a king. It's only that you don't understand yourself. And ladies and gentlemen, when you open your mouth wide, God must fill you. Those are the things that God fill an individual who is ready to take up the baton, who is not full of himself, but he is full of God's desire and achievement. And let me say this. These encounters only happen to people who have burden of winning the soul. They don't care about their name. They don't care whether they will be respected. They don't care whether they will be known. They don't care whether people will respect them. They don't care whether people will honor them. But God will always affirm them because He is God. And He has called them so that He can show them His ways. Ladies and gentlemen, when you see these signs, it is a wake-up call to lounge deeper. It is a wake-up call to lounge deeper in God. Remember to subscribe on my YouTube channel, James Njuguna Official. Follow, like, comment. If you need any assistance on prayer, inbox me. Please consider to rewatch the previous parts, part 1, part 2, part 3, part 4, and part 5 and 6, and this one, part 7. And I believe your life will never, ever be the same again, because you are a child of God. You can never be in order. Shalom.